cause, if not careful, him to jump on the bandwagon of what God called Saul to do and be manipulating from his authoritative position as uncle, getting him to do little stuff, little here's and little there's and little influences, right? And so he didn't tell him. We talked about that on Wednesday, right? But the second part that I didn't touch on Wednesday, I'm going to touch today, which is he wasn't confident enough to tell him. Oh, yes. See, in your sonship, in your kingship, you notice we got faith working way back here. Your faith works by what you say. And if you're not confident in the word of the Lord on your life, you're not going to say what the word says. You can't say it. Because if there is a rebuttal, if you don't have faith in it, you won't say it. Because logic against you not having full security in what God said, you can be duped out of what God had already convinced you of. And so here he's talking to his uncle, and he's telling the uncle about the natural part. I left for the donkeys. He just told me my natural life. He told me that I wasn't going to have to search for the job that I was looking for. They're already found. He told me some natural stuff. Hey, your cars that got away and was stolen, because we know that donkeys were a resource of transportation, also a resource of tilling the ground, and you're working. So this affected your job too. And so he telling his uncle, yeah, he told me about my job, them donkeys. He told me about they were found. He told me all these natural things, but Saul left out the spiritual part. You notice that? He left out the spiritual part. You know it's easy to brag on how much money you have in the bank? It's easy to brag on how good your life is and tell people what makes you special. Oh, I left with the donkeys, but they're already found. Didn't even have to do no work. Got it done, though, Unc. Wait a minute. He asked you what all did Samuel say. What? Wait a minute. You're proud of your natural part, but your spiritual part you ain't too proud of. You don't tell that too much. And so we see here when Saul is addressing his uncle, he was comfortable telling him about one part. You sons, us sons, all of us, men, women, sons, all the sons up in here, we are coming into the time where we cannot be ashamed of the word of God. Period. And we don't care who don't like it. We can't be ashamed to tell our faith. Because do you know your faith works with what you... Because out of the abundance of the heart, what happens? You got to say it. If it's in your heart, you got to say it. It's out of the abundance. So if doubt is there, I'm going to hear more doubt. If your natural mind is so present, I'm going to hear more of, we found the donkeys. They were found already until I came back home and now I'm just chilling. What about the work of the Lord? Well, I'm saved, but we all got to be down here anyway. Y'all know what I'm talking about? This is what we're looking at. But we're watching a king be anointed to become the authority of the territory. So you can't go in and have authority over the territory and be shy about what God says. He can't give you no territory without what he says. You need what he says to give you the territory that you're looking for. And what territory is that? Oh, that just means souls. No, it does not. Souls is just the work. That's the work. We're talking about your daily life and taking territory of promises, of things that are not available to you by yourself, but through God, they're all obtainable. That's what we're talking about. But you need the word. You need to believe the word. You need to trust the word, right? And not only put confidence in what God is saying about you and your natural. What people know you as in your natural. You might have been Mr. Popular or Mrs. Popular. But in God, he's like, okay, you're no longer Mr. and Mrs. Popular. Now you're going to be down here. And if you're not good with it, if you're not good with where God is placing you, guess what? You ain't going to tell it. You won't tell. You'll only tell what you're the most confident in. So if you're confident in information and logic, guess what you're going to tell? Your information and logic. If you're confident in the word, what you going to say? Huh? But see, you know why we're not